All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to halftime here of your Elizabethton Cyclone versus Tennessee High Vikings. As always, at halftime, we're joined by Coach Ryan Witten for our segment this week in Junior Cyclone Football. Coach Witten probably got cut off last week because of the short halftime because of the lightning delay at Science Hill. So let's kind of recap a little bit about where you stand, but first of all at T.A. Duggar.
Right. So this past week we had a game at Indian Trail, so it was back-to-back nights at Johnson City, and we ended up coming from behind. Indian Trail was winning 39 and a half minutes, so we came there at the last little bit, and the last 30 seconds or so and scored on a running back wheel route and Creed Baker to Carson Lyons, and then we went for two, down 7-6, balls on 3 obviously, and then we went QB ISO. And Tyson Elliott, who runs the ball as a running back, he laid their linebacker back in the back of the field house there. So Creed walked in, and we held him. Drake Litton had an interception on a Hail Mary to end the game, and we left there barely by the skin of our teeth, like most of our games are with them, 8-7. And so we sit 2-0, and then the JV played after that immediately and had a big win, 38-6. So anytime you can go over there and get two, you're doing well.
Any doubt in your mind that you were going to go for two?
Oh, no, there was no doubt in our mind. Anytime you're on the road, Dave Ryder always said you go for the win. So he taught that to me really, really early. Unless you have a kicking game that's 100%. I think if the weather or kicking game was 100%, but right now we're not at that point.
No, you wouldn't have. You would have gone for two. You would have gone for
we always have one in our hip pocket anyway, So dirt draw, but we did dirt draw pencil a couple times, like Coach Witten did Friday night, but not as much. But kids played really hard. Indian Trail's gotten a lot better. Hunter Jordan's their coach, former offense coordinator and head coach at Sullivan South. So he's got a lot of those guys coaching for him, former guys over in Sullivan County. So they're a really good football team. And like I said, we got out of there, but we won. That's all that matters.
They got a lot more kids too.
Yes,
they got a lot more kids out.
Yeah.
So put you 2-0 in the season. What do you got this week?
We're at Sevier back at Kingsport. Another, we went to Colonial Heights, and then we're now in Johnson City. Now we're going to Kingsport to play in J. Fred. So playing Sevier. So our kids have had a great week of practice, especially coming off that. 8-7 nail biters, a lot to fix. Kids have had great attitudes. So we were ready to roll. So we had 2 days on the turf, and today we went down by the track and did some special teams. But our kids are hungry. They're ready. They're ready to be 3-0 when we come home for our home stand.
All right, now let's talk about the younger kids.
Yes.
All right, this last week was week 2 of the Junior Cyclone Watauga League.
Right.
How did it end up?
Yeah, we went really well. We had a bunch of teams up at Unaka, and some teams got their first victories. We had flag football here really quick in the mornings, and Hampton and Clown's been coming down and participate with our Cyclone, both boys and girls. So it was a good day there. And then we have 2 teams that haven't got on the. They lost by 1 point. They were, I think, at Johnson County. But the way the schedule works, odd number of teams. I don't think they played Johnson County, but they played at Johnson County. But this week we come back home, so we got 6. We got flag games and then 6 home games. We got Johnson County coming here and Crockett, so it'll be fun.
Last week, if our listeners missed it, let's go through the numbers again that we've got in the Junior Cyclone, the Watauga Conference, from anything from flag on up to the junior people.
So we have about 70 playing flag, 75 kids playing flag football. That's girls and boys. And then we have about 220 playing tackle, and there's about 250 cheerleaders. About 85 T.A. football players, and then Coach Witten's got 60, 75 somewhere around there. So 65, 75. So we're looking at good numbers.
You're running about 450 kids.
Yeah, right.
Until they can walk, until they get ready to walk across the
street. No, yesterday I told Kelly, I gave him a hard time. I coached the middle schoolers, then I watched the high schoolers finish, then I ran up to T.A. and coached the little girls. Then I came back and coached the Milligan girls. I had every range group, I had them all.
This is how you're not divorced.
And how many monsters was this?
Yeah, I know. We don't count during football season.
That's right. It's don't count. Coach, I appreciate all the effort that you put into it. You do a lot behind the scenes that nobody ever knows The only ones that really know is you and Kelly.
Yeah.
And I know, speaking for me and Stacy, I think we can say it, we appreciate the work and effort that you put in, because it takes somebody special, especially to work with those 3, 4, and 5-year-old flag kids.
Yeah, it's sometimes we're wearing my patience out, but it's all good. It's whatever we need for the team. I'm greatly for you guys. I mean, it takes. That's what Cyclone football is all about. You know, the fight that those kids showed Friday night down 14-0. You know, little school, 835 students at a 6A school could easily wave the white flag, but Coach Witten got him in there. He rallied the troops like he always does. Just like at the dinner we talked about, you know, down in Greenville, just our kids are always wanting to find ways to win and compete, and that's all you can ask for.
And talk a little bit about what you expect to see as the Cyclones finish up here against the Tennessee High Vikings. Tell me a little bit about this game. Give me your perspective as Mr. Cyclone, eye in the sky, the performance last week and what you've seen on tape from Tennessee High.
Yeah, I thought the execution was really good on both offense and defensively. You know, it was a week 1, so there was a lot of missed tackles on both sides of the ball. I think we polished that up. You know, all of us know every time you go to Bristol, it's going to be a hard knock and hitting a football game. So our kids better be ready for a physical game. Both teams are 0-1, so I think, you know, just being able to establish the run like you talked about, and then like Rhett said, we and Braden, we want to come out fast. We want to play fast, put the pressure on them, kind of deflate their bubble, and then you know, let the Cyclones roll. So I'm sure Coach Witten will have a really good game plan. He'll let me know on it tonight or tomorrow. And we'll get ready to go. I'll just try to stay out of the way.
Tony said it best. We appreciate everything you do, and we certainly appreciate you coming and visiting us each week to keep us updated on junior Cyclone football. Ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for this portion of our program. Tony and I will be back, and then we'll have your second half of tonight's big contest as the Cyclones are at the Stone Castle taking on the Tennessee High Vikings.